Hey guys, Jason Christie here. I'm with Bass Resource, and we are going to do a springtime spinnerbait breakdown. Everything you need to know about a spinnerbait fishing, where I'm going to do it. So first of all, we're just going to go through the setup. I use a 610 Falcon Care, and the reason I use the 610 is because, you know, a lot of times in the spring, a lot of the lakes are flooded. You're up around the bushes, you're up around boat docks, grass, things like that. And I want to be able to roll cast. And I want a rod that's short enough to get away with a lot of that stuff, but also I want a rod big enough and long enough to, you know, fight 5-pounders, 6-pounders, 7-pounders, hopefully. So the rod's pretty important. And typically when I'm spinnerbait fishing, it's not a lure that I just pick up and throw. If I'm spinnerbait fishing, it's locked in my hand pretty much all day long. So you want something comfortable as well. I use a slower gear ratio reel. This is a Lew's Hypermag. I like the slower reels just because I want to keep the bait down in the spring. A lot of time when I'm talking about spring, I'm talking about water temperatures from 55 to 65, mainly in that area you're out there. So I want to keep that bait down in the water column, you know, a foot or so below the surface. You just barely be able to see the blades. 99% of the time when I'm throwing a spinnerbait, I'm using 22-pound Sunline shooter. And a lot of guys go, wow, that's big, that's what I flip with. Well, a lot of the bites you get spinnerbait fishing in the spring, they're close contact. I mean, they're around a bush, they're around a dock pole, and the last thing I want to worry about is that fish breaking me off. With the fluorocarbon, I choose fluorocarbon over mono or over braid. I want to feel the blades. A lot of times when you get a bite in the spring, it won't be, you know, he's not going to jerk the rod out of hand. He's just going to cut your line. So my rule of thumb, you know, I'm feeling those blades turn as I'm reeling it. And when that blade quits turning, I'm setting the hook, because a lot of times they'll just come up and they'll follow the bait and they'll push it right behind you. So that's pretty much the setup that I use in the spring. Let's talk about spinnerbaits. So in the spring, typically a lot of what I'm looking for is dirtier water. You're not going to see me throwing a spinnerbait in you know, 3 to 4 to 5 foot visibility. They used to catch them like that a long time ago. You know, just times have changed. There's more people fishing. So when I'm out in the spring, I'm hunting dirtier water. And whenever we're talking about water temps between, you know, mid 50s to mid 60s, it's usually a single Colorado for me. Dirtier water, I'm looking for a Colorado blade. And it's just, I think, me personally, I think it's that thump, 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 thump. I think it just draws strikes, and it draws bigger strikes. This single Colorado, and I've actually tested this, has a lot of the same feel in the water as a vibrating jig. I mean, it's just that, you know, just a thump, 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 thump. So that blade, this spinnerbait right here, gets a lot of play. As far as colors, you know, it's simple. Just remember this: the clearer the water, you know, 2 foot visibility. I want more of a lifelike looking spinnerbait. You get into, you know, 6 inches, stuff like that, you want something bright. You know, notice the covert there, orange head. I want this fish to be able to pick up the spinnerbait. Now, when talking, you know, 55 to 65 degree water temperature, you're covering pre-spawn, spawn, and even some post-spawn. Once I really feel like these fish have spawned and they're coming off the bed, that's when I go to a tandem blade. And the reason being is I feel like it's more finesse in the water sound-wise. It's not as intimidating to them. You know, when those fish first pull up to the bank in the mid-50s, they're fresh. They haven't been fished for. You know, I'm going to use the Colorado to get their attention and make them bite. You know, 65 degrees, they've been up there a while, they've seen some baits, so it's not as loud in the water, and I feel like you're going to get a lot more bites going to a tandem. And notice, you know, the red kicker, that's a dirty water spinnerbait for me. Chartreuse and blue, that's my favorite. Just like today, darker, not a lot of sun, you know, 6-inch visibility, that'd be the spinnerbait that I picked. One thing about a spinnerbait, you notice here how many I have. There are a couple of hundred at least in this box right here. Every one of these spinnerbaits in this box will catch fish. But whenever you key the right blade, the right color, the right trailer for the springtime, it's gonna turn your day from a good day to a great day, or a not so good day to a good day. It's gonna improve it. As far as trailer is really a personal preference. I use a Yum swimming dinger. There's one laid right here on the top. I don't like a lot of plastic in the trailer because what it does is it takes away the action of the bait. I like something slim, not a lot of plastic, and just a little kick in the back. So yeah, I think that covers the springtime. Hope you guys learned something.